Ingrid, you got me. You got me today, man. Wow.
I said, you know what? I'm going to bring him back, and you're here, and that's it's great in the room. But
yes,
we've got lots to talk about.
Yes.
So the first thing is, I know that I know you and Anthony are very, very tight. I was perplexed by, obviously the fight is going to say they need to make changes. That
yeah.
When things are not going well, oh, we got to make changes. Okay, fine.
Yes.
But the interview is what perplexed me. I'm like, well, I had words with Tunde and I had words with Ade, and I'm like to myself, well, why would you come out and say that in the public when your training, as it is getting gunfire anyway? Why would you do that?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about me and Anthony. I don't question nothing Anthony does.
Okay.
And I'm not going to answer for what Anthony does, and vice versa. We're two grown men, and you know, listen. Everyone knows our relationship. It's a family relationship. You know, I'm like an uncle to Ant, and he's like a nephew to me. And it's more than boxing, regardless of what anyone thinks. It's more than boxing. You know, that I love that young man with all my heart. So it's like a parent and a child. You know, the parent would always advise his child what to do, the right things to do, in his opinion. And it's down to the child to make their own decisions. You can't stop that from happening. So you let the child make decisions. If it's a wrong one, it's a wrong one. If it's a wrong one, it may appear right at the time to him. But this is what I'm saying. Life is a journey and it's a goal. So I'm not here to answer questions on why he done it or how or what was the reason. That's nothing. I just leave that. I leave that to those on the outside to wrap their heads around that. But guess what? In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to Andy
Hey, let's talk about Nigeria as well.
yeah.
Listen, I want to ask some things of yourself. So first thing is this statement that came out, right, where somebody said that Anthony came back to the corner, he asked, he couldn't get past the jab.
Yeah.
The in the camp. Now, can you clarify that for me? Because
I actually don't need to. I actually don't need to clear anything up, because I know and you know, Ingrid, that I never said that. I know you know I never said that. Come on, man. Listen, man. And as I said,
even if I did say it, so what?
So what? So what if I said it? If that is a motivational thing that Anthony uses to encourage himself and get himself in another gear, what is wrong with that? There is nothing. But
okay.
No, but to answer the question, I didn't say that, and Anthony didn't say that.
Let's clarify that, get out of the way. Then the thing about the sparring, and I said, I said, there's a lot of dumb journalists or so-called dumb questions. So when says, no, we don't do no sparring, I interpret that from you saying it as like, you're asking me dumb questions, so I'm going to give you a dumb answer back. And probably out of context, because it's Tunde Ajayi that said it.
I keep saying this, Ingrid. If we got to the pinnacle of the sport, win, lose, or draw, with no sparring, and 99.9% of boxers never get to that pinnacle of the sport, then maybe everybody should stop sparring and just do what I do. Just don't spar. But let me tell you where this whole thing came from. And you know, you have people in America that actually believe this. More, I don't know. Strange to me is that you actually have people in the UK again, and one of the reasons why I don't answer these questions, because I just find it really stupid. But it came from an interview that I'd done with Danny Flexen from Seconds Out, and he asked how was sparring going, and I joked, well, you know, we don't spar. Come on, you see the kung fu movies.
Yeah.
The the master spars with the student, and then when the student can beat the master walks off. Bam, the student's ready. So we don't spar. I don't. So Anthony spars with me. That's it. That's how this whole thing started. And based on that statement,
but
wait, I ain't finished. Based on that statement,
all right,
clever journalists used it as clickbait to attack me. But I was like, let me think about this. You know what? I know you don't like me anyway, so I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna run with it. I'm just gonna say we don't spar. Yeah, so good. We don't spar.
But you're an energy man, right? We're talking energy, yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Out, we don't spar. That's an energy thing. So
no, but remember, that wasn't the exact words. What I said to him is that he asked me how sparring goes in, and I said to him, "You know how this goes. Anthony's best sparring partner is me, Tunde Ajayi. You've seen the Kung Fu movies. I would even put it up on my Instagram. I'll put that piece up, but I don't want to bother. I said, you've seen the Kung Fu movies. The student spars with the master, and that's how it was taken out of context. Nothing else. You understand?
But that's been around for ages. It's been around. It's stuck like mud with you.
Yeah, but I like it. Because energy goes where energy flows. There's only one form of energy, positive, and you can use that energy in a positive or a negative way. If you put that focus of negative energy on me, I'm only going to transfer that into positive. So I don't really mind.
The Bruce Lee philosophy of flow like water, be like water, and flow, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
and it's the truth.
Okay. So when I did the preview to Yarde versus Arthur, I said lessons needed to be learned from the KOVALEV fight and the Arthur fight. And I said one of the things there would have been the jab, to get off the jab, get inside and do work. I said if he allows Arthur to be at the end of that jab and pop that jab out for the whole fight, then he'll win the fight on points. So, and what the thing for me is the fight was sold. And the way it looked to me is Anthony, the A side, gone and fought KOVALEV, fought much better competition, and that he was the guy. He's the A side. So even if you got to points as the A side fighter,
yes, sir.
It didn't happen that way. So more questions are asked because if you won the fight on points, nobody would say anything. We would have just cracked on and moved on. Commonwealth champion. Let's get the BWTM fight. That didn't happen. So you lose the fight in a close one. Then more questions being asked. Getting past the jab. So then you get people saying, Yarde couldn't get past the jab. What type of sparring has he been getting? Click back. They don't do sparring. Then David Hay comes out and says, they need to get hard sparring.
David Hay can't chat to me.
And David Hay he's Mr. Salesman. And I mean, you're a great salesman, but David Hay takes salesmanship to a level.
David Hay is my friend. He's a friend, family.
Yeah.
His cousin. I grew up next door to them.
Yeah.
His good friend Stevie Watts. I've told him David Hay can't chat to me. He can't chat to me until he apologizes for that statement live on TV, because all you've done is built up the narrative of this no sparring thing. And I think David is in a position where he should know that it's really just nonsense. I don't need to respond to that. It's just nonsense. The no sparring thing is nonsense.
I heard behind closed doors that you were doing pretty hard sparring. That's what I heard.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say. Again, I'm not going to use this platform.
In boxing circles. And
I'm not going to use this platform to even speak about that, because I want everyone to hear what Anthony has to say first.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to his YouTube channel. please subscribe to his YouTube channel, and then we'll move it from there. I was not even supposed. I'm not even supposed to talk because I haven't spoken on it on Anthony's interview, and I don't want to. I'm not going to answer questions about Anthony's interview because it's Anthony's right to let everyone know what his decisions are. And it's his decisions, it's Anthony Yarde's career, and I respect that. I've always respected that. So we'll wait to see what Anthony has to say further, because he hasn't, from what I understand, I haven't even watched the video, but from what I understand is that Anthony said that you know, we're gonna talk, and then he'll come to a decision. I don't know, end of the year or New Year or something. So I'll let Anthony do that. But if you ask him about myself and all these questions about sparring and everything, I just say, come on, man, just look at it. And the hard sparring thing, if I now turn around and even, I'm not saying what you heard was wrong. I'm not saying it was right. But what I'm saying now, if I turn around and say we was having hard sparring, now another clever dicky will come up and say they had too much sparring and Anthony was flat for the fight. So, as I said, you win, they hate. You lose, they hate. You breathe, they hate. You can't win, Ingrid. So you just gotta get on with it. And let me reap what I sow in this life and just keep it moving. I don't have time to answer these questions.
Let's move all that stuff out of the way. Let's just talk about Tunde Ajayi himself, the trainer. And congratulations on your show, by the way. I've been watching. Congratulations.
Yes,
sir. Show yourself and Spencer and the various guests you get.
The guy is right. The guy is right.
Keep it up.
Yes.
Do you feel that you get unfairly criticized?
Well, listen, Floyd Mayweather told me something. I never saw it on YouTube. Floyd Mayweather said to me, it comes with the territory. I didn't hear that on YouTube. He says it comes with the territory. You're there to be Chris. I don't know what you're gonna say, Ingrid.
No, wait. It comes with the territory. What type of territory though? You understand? I mean, look, I could stick you in maybe somewhere like in Nebraska or somewhere where you're not going to be particularly liked because of the way you look. That's a different territory to a territory in Nigeria. That different type of territory, but it's still territory.
I get you. I absolutely get you. I get you. I just think that people are going to be people. Human beings are going to be human beings. I know what you're alluding to. And one of my strategies has never been to focus on that particular thing. My strategy has always been to build. And I feel that I can help more if I build as opposed to trying to attack something that's always been there. I mean, you're looking at films like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, that's just come out on Netflix. And you see nothing has changed. You still see people, us fighting with one another to please another. And then we end up damaging one another. Now, Pat Barrett has said some things. And I'm saying, Pat, bruv, when you see me, it ain't that. You get what I'm saying? You don't come with that kind of energy. So in my mind, I'm like, who are you doing it for? Who are you doing it for? Because if you're talking about representation, on that night, we should be proud of all of us being on the stage, being on TV, having, everybody making money. Don't start trying to disrespect me because you ain't me. I've worked for what I've done very, very hard and meticulously. And all I said after the fight on BT, I didn't give no other thing. I said, well done to Pat and well done to Lyndon. It's your night. God bless you. And we look forward to the rematch. That's it. I ain't got time to be entertaining disrespect. Why don't you go and talk to them other brothers? Why don't you say that to them? All these other guys. But you feel that you want to come at me. And I'm like, bro, it ain't about that. We know what this is about. We just need to work hard, come together collectively. Don't put energy in something that we know we're never going to change. If someone doesn't like you, that's their problem. We don't need to make that our problem. We need to focus and concentrate and build ourselves. One another, come on our platforms like your platforms and help. You ain't seeing these men come on your platforms. They may come on now because I'm the one who always breaks the ice. That's the only reason. And they're not coming on with a righteous heart.
No.
They're not coming. You understand what I'm saying, Ingrid?
Yeah, I get you, but you know the kind of man I have on my show anyway. Listen, I don't have any man on the show. I don't call any man on the show. This is the universe now. Oh, by the way, did you know we're on Amazon TV now?
Wow. Well, bro, don't worry. Bro, anything you do, I'm gonna do as well. So that's how we help each other, fam. Don't worry about that. So I'll be saying, Ingrid, Bro, told me I had to get on this thing, and that's what I'm saying. When I went to America, when I went to America, one thing I learned from Floyd and being around Floyd is how much the man helped those that were around him. There was never this thing like, oh, this is mine. Let me just hold on to it. I realized that what the perception I was given of Floyd was not actually what Floyd was.
Absolutely.
So, but I had to go to Vegas over a number of years to actually see it for myself.
Well, that's the whole divide and conquer situation.
Yeah, well, let them divide and conquer as much as they want. I have business about that. I'm just talking about doing what I can do. Look, I'm here supporting you. You see what I'm saying? I'm here supporting you. Now, you may end up to be so big, national this, national that. Hopefully, you'll remember your little brother. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all right when you're up there. It's all right when you're up there. But when you come...
Let me change that for you. Hopefully, there should be no hope. Because there's no hope. I don't work in a world of hope. I don't work in a world of hope. So there's no hope. Brother, don't give me any reason to forget you. That's what I say.
Well, listen, you can't forget me, because let me tell you something.
There you go then.
I saw a comment. Oh, look at him with his gold chain and everything like that. But let me tell you. No, but let me tell you.
Forget that man.
I work for it. It's my things.
Forget that man.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. But I love it. But again, Ingrid, that's the fighter in me. You see what I'm saying? Deep down, listen.
You can use the energy to better things.
No, but hold on. What, you think I got time to be doing all this? Bro, as soon as this holiday season is over, I'm back to work, bro. I ain't got time to be arguing, man. How do you think we got where we got? Me arguing with people, giving them my energy? I understand what energy is. Yeah. And I would rather a man be negative to me and not pay any attention. Yeah. Because you now give me that energy and I take that energy and go and work. But right now, it's holiday season. So I'm going to clap back and fire back at these brothers.
Listen. I've realized that when you give these people energy, their whole aim is to disrupt, to divide. I'll be having a conversation with a man talking about, move forward, progression, and then somebody come and ask a question about, oh yeah, did you see that block over there? Completely distracting you from what the conversation is on. So I've learned for the years now,
bro, you're 20 years behind me. You're 20 years behind me, fam. I knew this from a long time. I knew this from when I was like you.
You're with these people, though.
I know. You got to understand. It's the fuel. Sometimes that is needed. It's the fuel that is sometimes needed to keep the fire burning, to let you understand that you still got it inside of you. This is passion. Nothing is created without passion. And sometimes, look, the way I'm talking now, imagine I was talking like that every single day. I wouldn't have nothing left for my craft.
No, you wouldn't.
So I get it. But what I'm trying to say is it's holiday seasons.
Every somebody's not for the esteem.
Yeah, you got listen. Everything is balanced in life, Ingrid. It's balanced. If you don't balance the thing, you're just gonna end up mad. You might end up like Jack the Ripper.
I have my moments of blowing off, and I do on the channel occasionally, not as much as I used to. I don't get as much. But I mean, so as a trainer,
yes.
And you say you're still you're learning all the time.
Yes, sir.
Like going back to that situation with the KOVALEV situation. I know. Just at that moment in time, going back and seeing that if you'd got the stoppage at that point in time, if you'd got the stoppage, you'd have been like Angelo Dundee when Angelo Dundee went out and told Shure Leonard, "You're blowing it, son."
Yeah, but listen, again, I'm going to answer that question, yeah? I'm going to answer that point, not that question. I'm going to answer that point.
Okay.
And then I don't want to talk about KOVALEV. That's done. You get what I'm saying? We're in a new thing. Yeah. But listen, let's say that God did write that particular story for myself and Anthony. Yeah. And we did end up stopping KOVALEV in that 8th round. Knowing what you know, do you really think that would have changed the narrative on Tunde Ajayi?
I think it would have been an iconic moment.
Yeah, but listen, there's been many
Maybe
iconic
not in
moments,
the UK. Maybe not in the UK.
but you're still gonna get the hate. You get what I'm saying?
Anyway, Mayweather got hate. He was unbeaten.
Exactly. So the point is, you listen to what you just said. Mayweather get hit, but so the point is regardless of the outcome,
you would have been at that point. Had that pulled off, you'd have been pulled a genius. Because when Dunn did it, when Dunn said to Leonard, "You're blowing it, son," in that round, and Leonard came out and he turns.
Yes,
he was behind on points.
But brother, that was his story. Yeah, but I'm not upset again. But now listen, you're going back on what you just said, because you said don't focus on what they're saying, and I'm saying regardless of the outcome, I'm not focusing. I'm not living my life for other people's opinions. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and I know that everything I do, I'm doing it from the goodness of my heart.
The best intentions to see him stop Kovalev at that point, of course. And we're moving to Kovalev. Let's go back to Lyndon Arthur fight. Now, where do you feel as a trainer?
Yes.
You could improve, and where do you think you did well in the fight?
Well, listen, the biggest room is the room for improvement. Let me just say that again. The biggest room is the room for improvement. And if you have that in the back of your mind, you will never get sloppy. I've never made I don't make excuses. That's just not what I'm about, because again, I'm spiritual. Things happen for a reason, and there's always a lesson to be learned in every situation. People ask, what do you think you could have done better? Well, we could have won. That's what we could have done better.
To some degree. So
yeah. But the point I'm saying is this. Let's rewind. And this is, for me, based on what I'm reading out there, this is what I feel that people still have failed to realize. Why? Because it's not them. They're not living my reality. They're not living our team's reality. They're not living Anthony's reality. Anthony said it on his interview from the clips I've seen. He lost 4 family members this year within a 6-month period. Listen, I know and you know, if you lose one family member,
I know.
Most people, but some people might even commit suicide.
Grief, they can't deal with it. It's hard to deal with.
They can't deal with that. So my thing was always after the fight, listen, God bless us all. You know, tonight wasn't our night. We all gonna go back, look at the situation. But let me tell you something. Anthony, you won. Because you did something that I don't think many people would have done. If Lyndon had lost his father, his grandmother, his grandfather, would he have been in that ring? But Anthony and myself, obviously, if I saw things, you know, Ant knows I wouldn't have allowed it to fight. But the kid is so mentally strong. And that's one thing I respect Anthony for more than ever. He wasn't injured in the fight. So thank God again. No injury. But we all know Anthony can do something different. We know Lyndon can't. That's the difference. So take this year. Let's get this year out of the way. Let's start a new year, you know, and we just go again from there, because you know, there's always something that you can point out. We should have done this. I should have done that. You know, because again, I'm talking about myself, or we're talking about me. I should have done this. But we're a family, and being a family, you take on the vibrations of the people that you're connected to. And it's been a tough year. That's all I would say. It's been a tough year for us, and we just need to all enjoy this holiday period. You know, let the dust settle, and then we'll come again. You know, I don't see. Hold on. Callum Smith got broke up the other day. I don't see no one saying get rid of Joe Gallagher. Joe Gallagher's my friend. Joe Gallagher even phoned me to, phone Spence to ask how I was doing. And Spencer said, I don't worry about Tun. You know, Tun don't care about all that negativity stuff. But the thing is that Joe gets stick. You understand, because he, again, like myself, defends his fighters and protects his fighters. But the thing is that I've just never seen this kind of assault on someone. I've never seen so many people who are sitting there with 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola and a pack of Haribos become Pep Guardiola and Arsene Wenger and Don King and Emmanuel Stewart. How are you gonna sit there telling me what to do and you ain't done nothing? You're looking at it from a fan's perspective. See, now you're getting me hot again because now you're getting me hot. I don't want to get hot. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I ain't answering no questions about what we should have done or what we're gonna do better the next time round. All I'm saying is this: Anthony has done exceptionally well considering the circumstances. He fought for a world title within 4 years of becoming a professional. It took, I think, Liam Smith 6 years before Liam. This is not Callum. 6 years as a professional before he fought the top guy. I think it took Callum even longer. And both of those guys had extensive amateur careers. We only had 12 amateur fights. 4 years we're fighting Kovalev. Anthony making money, which is again one of the most important things in the sport, because we know, God rest his soul, Frankie Randall passed recently. First man to stop Chavez.
Nice.
Only earning a career high of $170,000.
Ridiculous.
Dying of dementia, pugilistic dementia, and broke. So I don't want no one, you can, but I will never listen to anybody saying that we are not God bless and that we haven't done. Now, all it is for Anthony and myself as a trainer to fulfill the potential that he has and that I have as a trainer. Because again, a lot of trainers, I don't know, I haven't heard really trainers, they may be behind my back, but I don't know if there's many trainers that's vocally come out and criticize me, because they know if they've got to where I've got to, and they know you can't criticize me. Because again, I have no GB training. I don't have that background. I came up, studied the sport, watched boxing every day, studied it, meticulously wrote down just it's just a dossier of fight patterns, and I've done that for myself. And that's for me. I've done that for myself. I wasn't taught by nobody. It's
I remember hearing the stories about Tunde Ajayi. Well, before I'd met you, Tunde Ajayi. You heard about Tunde Ajayi? I'd heard about you for years, and I first came across you when you were training the young, I think he's a lightweight.
Junior Saba, Otu Saba.
Not Otu, the other one. Okay. Not even Egyptian. I'm not sure.
Kevin Mitchell.
No, not Kevin Mitchell. Yeah, Nazim. He used to fight with
O'Hara Davis.
No, he wasn't. He was from Wales.
Oh, Kurt Goodin. Oh, Romeo Romeo.
That's the boy. That's Romeo Romero. Were you on the pad? You work with Romeo Romero. And I know around Don Charles, I used to hear, oh yeah, Tunde Ajayi. So I knew that you had an extensive background in terms of going with working and watching stuff for the Mayweathers. And I always remember that you having all these different. They said this is the man with all the pad combinations. He had all these different combinations, like in a vault. Yeah. I always heard about it. Then the System 9 came out. So this fascinates me, because I like unconventional. I like going against the grain, not for the sake of it, but for your own personal survival and growth. Don't want to do things the way everyone else wants it done. Like BWTM, for example, isn't what people expect it to be. And I'm not doing it for people's expectations. I'm doing it because this is a universe I think that will help others grow and develop from.
Yes, sir.
So the System 9.
Yes.
Anthony Yarde is the dare I say the I won't say the blueprints, but the package of what the System 9s can achieve.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that I mean, there's so many different combination stuff. Probably you haven't even taught Anthony yet that you've got there. and the best is yet to come. And you would say that because obviously
Yeah.
you are the owner of that. Okay.
Yes.
Now, how far into the Systems 9 have you got with Anthony? How far does he have to go to get to that ultimate point? And does that ultimate point bring him to where you want him to be, which is world champion or undisputed champion? Or I know, first of all, you want him to be successful financially and safe, defense, protecting his kingdom and money. In the back, bang, done.
Yes, yes.
But in terms of world championships and glory and legacy, how far away from that System 9 that you've got there for you to getting it to where you need it to be for him to achieve what he needs to achieve? Bearing in mind the stuff with the four deaths this year for Anthony, which was something you didn't predict or could see.
Yes.
So take that aside into 2021, because I don't know what Anthony's going to say.
Yes.
Should you? Because I've got to speak from a person who doesn't know. Should you still remain the trainer? Because we don't know what he's going to say. Should you still remain the trainer? I've got to speak that way. Should you still remain the trainer? Then, what can we see from this Systems 9 in 2021?
Yes.
That's the question I'm asking.
Well, yeah, I mean, you asked quite a few questions in that
Well, that's it. I'm gonna sit back and listen.
Well, in terms of the, I'll answer the one I remember first, which is the last part of it, which is, will you still remain Anthony's trainer? And as I say, subscribe to Anthony Yarde's YouTube channel to find that out. You just need to do it. You just have to, I don't know what Anthony's gonna say. Whatever decision Anthony comes to, he knows that I love him, that I respect him, that I'm always there for him, and nothing will ever change. Nothing will ever change. So I leave that to Anthony. I leave that to Anthony to answer. In terms of how far we are in this, or what have I got to teach, and how far we're in the system, I told you a long time ago, my system is infinite. I could never master. There are not enough hours in the day for me to master what I wrote. I've got an infinite system of learning. So that's that. So that's in terms of what I've got documented in terms of paperwork. Thousands and thousands of documentation based on studying boxing. What does Anthony needs to do to become a world champion? He just wants to want it. I can have the best theory, the best program, the best formula ever. Anthony Yarde has to want it. He has to want to be a world champion. That is the biggest ingredient for anybody. Michael Jordan played on a team with other players, but there was only one Michael Jordan. Why? Because he put in the extra work. He had the drive and the passion and the willpower to do more than others. So, but he was playing on the same team, around the same players. But when the players was partying, Jordan was putting in work or resting. And so everyone writes their own story. I'm gonna write my own story. And nobody's gonna stop that. Just like you said, don't use the word hope. Nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop me from being a notable trainer of the era, of my time. It's gonna happen. Some would say I'm already known, but maybe not for the right things, And where Anthony's concerned,
but do you admit that do you admit that yourself, that some of the things you might be known for are not some of the things you may not want to be known for?
Well, I want to be known anyway.
Good, bad. There's nothing as bad.
Listen, they hated Jesus. They hated Muhammad. They hated any religious head that you follow, or some of you may not be religious. They hated them. So I'm in good standing. Most people only love Ali after his career was over. They never loved
Ali was around today, they would have hated him still the same way.
They would hate him. So
politically, even more so now. So they hate him.
So I don't mind about that. But I always say the reason why Anthony Yarde has achieved what Anthony Yarde has achieved is because he wanted to. He wanted to. When he was surrounded by all those fighters in the gym, Craig Richards, O'Hara, Daniel Dubois. Remember, all these boys were with me. Was with me. You know, Daniel Dubois. He was with me. He signed a contract with me. You know, never honored the contract. I let him go because I'm not here to stop a man's destiny. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But Anthony will 100% achieve what is in his mind because that boy works hard. That boy works so hard. He wants it, just like I heard Bashir speak about Muhammad, where he said, where he said that he was a beautiful human being outside the ring, but when he got in the ring, he was just an absolute beast. And Anthony's that as well. But again, people need to understand we're learning on the job, Ingrid. We just come into this and we're beating guys that have boxing heritage. You see what I'm saying? So what is it that has made us get to this level without having that experience or that heritage factor? There's only two things.
But the reason why people also are attracted to you is because of the trainer-fighter relationship. Tunde, I mean, look, Yarde can speak for himself, but
exactly
himself. It's not like Danny Garcia and AJ Garcia, where Danny can't speak for a lick and AJ can speak for him.
Yes,
Yarde can speak for himself.
Yeah, and this is why. And this is why you will see in the coming months and the coming year, you will see me retracted a lot from giving interviews out, because I feel like, and I said it, one of the reasons why I was so outspoken, because trainers don't get respect. They never get respect, and they add to that. So I mean, everyone's saying the trainer, but no one's saying the manager. To this day, no one's talking about the managerial duties that I have done, even though I've been Anthony's manager from the beginning.
I've spoken. All the points you're talking about here are points. If you rewind the tape of what I mentioned at the beginning about what you've done as a manager for him, getting him that Adidas contract, getting him the promotion that he's had, it's been fantastic. That's great.
Yes.
But then people will come back and say, like myself, I'll be one of those people who talks about the jab.
Yes. Yeah. That was another thing you spoke about, the jab.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, look, listen, you got gassed at everyone else. Anthony, you got gassed at everybody else. And that's what TV does. It sways your perception.
But wait, before the fight, I did the preview.
Hold on. Why? The reason why you done a preview on that jab, because you fell for the old ropey, what they call it, where they're talking about this Yarde and jab situation. Again, I don't want to mention the KOVALEV, but the KOVALEV. So what the perception or the narrative that has been given is Ant can't. Nobody talked about the jabs Ant was slipping. Nobody said that. Go and do the punch, the compu box.
Yes.
Anthony Yarde wasn't hit with an inordinate amount of jabs. I mean, Craig Richards fought Shaq and Peters. There was more jabs landed in that fight than there was in the
between Joyce and Dubois, right?
Exactly.
And Joyce dominated the jab. However,
listen, you say that, but the jab was the key factor in the fight because many jabs were thrown. But what I'm trying to say, if you're talking about shots landed, tell me one round when you saw Ant's head going boom, boom, boom. Oh, jab. But what happened is every shot that landed, you would hear the commentator say, "Oh, what a beautiful jab! Oh, they would get this jab." And I'm like, when I watched it at home, I said, "Bro, John Ruler, you little batty, yo. When I see you, me and you're gonna have words because you're just highlighting the thing." But he wasn't caught with it. Lyndon has got a good jab. And you can't take that away from him. But it wasn't what about the jabs Anthony landed? What about the double jabs?
Wait. So Here's this.
Yeah.
Round 12 was
Yes.
was similar to Danny Garcia against Errol Spence. In the 12th
Yes.
round, suddenly Garcia knew how to throw punches. In the
Yes.
12th round and the 8th round, I said earlier on, the 12th round against Arthur and the 8th round against Kovalev were almost identical. Why?
That's correct.
Because
Yes.
both times you had your man hurt.
Yes.
Both times you couldn't get your man out of there.
Yes.
And that's the difference between today talking about Anthony Yarde world champion or Anthony Yarde Commonwealth champion.
Yes. Yes.
Now, he had done the 9 rounds or the 10 rounds comfortably, right? Because we could see in the 12th round, he had it. Why was there no urgency? Just a question being asked. Why was no urgency from you as a trainer to say, hey, you know what? Step on the gas, step to this guy, get him out of there.
Again, this is what I'm trying to say. Wait. But this is what I'm trying to say. Again, you just listened and repeating the narrative, because what you're saying is subconscious. You actually haven't listened to what I said in the 12th round. Okay, I said to Anthony, go out there and finish up this round hard. Stop him. That's what I said to Anthony.
Round 10.
But listen. In the 10th round, I think it was the 10th, I was telling Anthony, start throwing the overhand right. We'll catch him in the overhand right. In the 6th round, I was saying to Ant, come on, we need to throw more punches. We're winning, but we need to throw more punches and step it up. So there were instructions given. Maybe the urgency, yes, that's something we're going to have to look at. The urgency. But Ingrid. Ingrid was one of my best friends at school. Sorry, that's why I say that. Ingram. So this is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So hold on. So I made these comments.
Yeah.
Not many people are talking about these comments.
Okay.
Anthony responded to them when I said them, but maybe not as much urgency. Why? Because we felt that we was winning the fight, or he felt that he was winning the fight.
Because you had the A side, you're the A side.
I don't look at that. I mean, I say it on it, but I don't look at that. What I'm looking at is the fight itself. And to me, when I felt that we needed to step up, we need to, that's the whole thing. But I keep on saying this. The reason why I don't really question anything, because I still go back to the inexperience factor of Ant and same thing in the amateurs. Ant lost on points in the amateurs one time, and he thought he won the fight. He bust up the guy's nose, everything. After that fight, Ant said, all right, cool. Watch. From now, I'm just going in there knocking out. So it's not like, as Bashir said, it's not like mistakes won't be made, because we're human beings. What is more fascinating to me is why the whole thing has been blown up on poor little Tunde. But guess what? Poor little Tunde loves it, because I love a fight. I love the excitement. I love the engagement, because it's not going to stop me going back to the drawing board and working harder, correcting things, bringing in new things, and trying to get better. I don't mind that.
I'm glad you said that, because now I can actually get a trainer who said those words.
Yes.
The drawing board.
Yes.
Tunde,
yes.
What's that drawing board look like? I've never seen it. I've gone into all these gyms. I've never seen a drawing board.
It's too complex for you.
I need to see this drawing board. Because if you can tell me what the drawing board is, then I can better listening.
I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you. We never lost that fight. We never. On Anthony's not so perfect day, we never lost that fight. I'm saying, but the reason is, well, that's something I don't want to really get into. But that's how I deal with it. Listen, I can't say I'm a spiritual man, and then when things happen, I'm start looking for all these excuses. I'm not on that. I just don't give excuses. That's why I haven't really answered the questions about what you're gonna do. Listen, he won. It was his night. It's Pat and Lyndon's night. But nothing I say or do can take that away from them. And I congratulate them. I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they made a little bit of money. Not as much as us. But we're all winning there. All of us are winners in this thing. And all of us can learn from this situation. But it's what really I'm a bit let down there is the disrespect. Because I never said nothing disrespectful to them. Anthony never said nothing disrespectful to them, but they're coming out and saying that we said different, or I'm being disrespectful to them. I just don't see how
What do
you
you
equate.
about?
I don't know.
Well, the
I'm
right
trying
hand,
to.
first of all, Anthony saying he didn't have a right hand. Or
Yes.
he didn't have a right hand. But I saw Lyndon after catch Anthony, even in the 10th or the 12th round, for absolutely beautiful right hand. Shook him like that with his warm like that. I'm thinking, well, if you don't have a right hand, how can you throw a right hand like that?
Yeah. And again, it's something I'm not even going to bother, because 1 minute your hand's hurt, next minute your hand's not hurt. 1 minute you hurt it in training weeks before, next minute you hurt it in the changing room the night of the fight. I don't know, fam. That's what I'm saying. I just don't. It's excuses. Floyd always says it. Excuses, excuses, excuses. It doesn't matter, Ingram. It's done. It's gone.
Again, it's done. Would you take it? No, I can't ask that question. Are you in a position to take an immediate rematch?
Listen, you said it. We are the A side.
Wait. Oh, let's see. Now you were the A side. Okay?
Yes.
You're the A side. You're the A side, right?
Yes.
So you have a sort of like the fight's in your hometown. It was it not? So if it goes to points, there's almost a belief it's like, well, if it goes to points, we'll win it because
well, listen, there's not. First of all, there's not an A side in coronavirus time. there's no A side or B side, right? Coronavirus is no crowd, so there's no energy of supporters to really, we're seeing this year that a lot of fighters have lost just because of that, because I don't think they're used to fighting without a crowd. But again, I just think it was a good fight. I personally scored it 7-5 to Anthony.
But you would say,
but there's many people that have said the same thing. But then on the same hand, there's people that may have scored it 7-5 for Lyndon. Whatever the case, Lyndon got the nod on the night, and that's all that matters.
Do you agree? If you're a champion, you have to do more to beat the champion. You can't just go close to the champion. You've got to outwork the champion from round one.
Well, I don't really agree. I don't really agree with that, because if you win, you win. You win, you win. But unfortunately or fortunately, we live in a society where it's a numbers game. Yes. It's a numbers game. So that's always going to play a big role in the decision. And remember, the rematch always sells better than the first one.
The rematch. Is that something that you want to take immediately? Is that something you want to add changes to before the rematch?
Well, let's see. Let's sit down. New year. Speak with Frank. Speak with Anthony. Anthony's his own man. Remember, all I've done is aided Anthony's career. Nobody can't tell Anthony Yarde what to do. Nobody. Not even me. It's like people think Anthony's some robot or something, and I just type in the instructions and Anthony just says, yes, I'm gonna go. No. Anthony's a very analytical.
Why do people can only respond or react to what they see?
Yes, that's correct.
So the impression that might be given, but mind you, David Haye and Adam Booth were like, they were almost inseparable, like yourself and Yarde. They're almost inseparable like that, and they were very successful at that. So
yes, Well, from what I understand, money got in the way with them two.
Of course.
Nobody can't buy me. I don't care. I'm just not for sale. Stamina for sale. Stamina for sale. Wait. Stamina for sale.
For advertisement.
Stamina for sale. No. But Tunde Ajayi ain't for sale, and it would never be money that would part me and Anthony.
I'm going to ask you a sensitive question here, Tunde. So don't bite my head off when I say this.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider? Because we had a situation with, example, Ben Davison when he went into the camp with Sugar. Ben Davison wouldn't go into camp with Sugar Hill. Would you ever yourself consider?
Oh, is that right? Yeah, is that what happened?
Yeah, I suppose that happened. That's why Ben Davison didn't go into camp, and that's why he kept away.
Okay.
So, would you ever consider having extra eyes, even to help, like something like a Bashir? Would you ever consider something? Or is that something that you would keep away from?
Like, comment, and subscribe to Anthony's YouTube channel
You're your own man.
To get bruv, it's Anthony's. This is the Anthony Yard career. It's not the Tunde Ajayi career. I'm humbled enough. And want it enough for Anthony to do what he thinks is the best thing for him. Because the thing about trainers and managers and promoters, they have almost 9 lives in the sport. Boxers have one career. And they have to do what's best for them. And they have to have people around them that they can trust wholeheartedly and always know that we're all working for the one team. It's a family thing. And I feel that that's what I've created in Stamina for Sale. It's a family. But having said all that, everybody has to just keep their eyes on Anthony and his YouTube channel, AY. and you know, see what the young man decides. It's very I'm on edge to see if I've got a job at the end of the year.
Is it really like that?
Listen, let's see. I don't know.
You're his manager.
I don't know. Yeah, but he's a hold on. So wasn't Adam Booth David A's manager when he bounced? Of course he was. You get what I'm saying? So but listen. Come on, man. Come on. Let's just it's only a few days in.
For him to bounce on you like that. But then there were things he said in that interview that made me go, okay. He said, well, you know what? There's parts of me that want to just say, screw all this boxing. I want to go out there and knock a man out.
Yes.
That's throwing away all that Systems 9 and just being a power puncher.
Yes.
It's conflict within himself that's coming out now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's why you have to like, comment, and subscribe to listen to what Anthony's got to say. Anthony's his own man. As you said it, Ingram. Anthony is articulate and can speak for himself. What has actually happened in this scenario is that because I got a big mouth and I love a fight and I can articulate myself in a way that the roadman can understand, the CEOs in the boardroom can understand, it's kind of like it's about me. But it ain't about me because I'm a giver. As I said, when the checks are getting cut, I ain't getting the same cut as Anthony. I'm getting the little minute cut because I want it for Anthony so much. I want the best for that young man. He's my son. And you know where decisions are concerned, I leave that up to Anthony. Let's wait and see what Anthony.
Accept? Huh? You've got that warrior, very, you know. Could you emotionally accept being told, you know what, Unks? I think you've taken me as far as you can take me as a trainer. Although I rate you as a manager, can you stay on as my manager? I'm going to bring on another trainer. How does Tunde Ajayi face that? I might never get to ask you that question. 24, 48 hours, 72 hours. How do you respond to that? And I'm the only one who's able to ask you the question. So I'm down will ask the question. How do you respond to that if he decides, you know what, Unks? I love you, man. I love you as a manager, and I love what you do as a trainer, but that's not for me no more. I need to go out there and knock man's out, and I'm looking for a man that's going to just teach me to knock out a man.
I've done it for many years. I was in the corner. I was always the second man with Johnny Eames. I was always the second, and I learned what I learned.
Yeah.
And I left, but the point what I'm saying is that
this is Anthony Yarde. This is the one that you. This is the one. Listen. We've seen it with Adrian Broner, still having the man around him in the corner that you saw him in all those big nights in, and then bringing in the other trainer. What's the guy? The guy's a police officer as well, Kevin Cunningham. Yes.
You know, but he's still got his the man that everyone knows him from. That's love. And you know, if one man could do that, I can do that as well. I'm a humble person. I don't mind. It's just I just want the best for Anthony.
Would you take it to heart if he said, just for argument's sake, he went, you know what? Because he mentioned Tony Cisse. Would you have an issue if he said, you know what, Unks, I want you to be my manager, but I want Cisse to train me? Or for example, you might say, I want you to be a manager, but I want this person to train me, like Adam Booth. Just for argument's sake, could you stomach that? Because if I were you, and I'm not you, but if I were you in that situation, I'd I'd vomit because worked with so long, built up, and then he's telling me, nah, you know, and nah, bro. I mean, this is how you talk now. This is, I
don't want to. I don't want to spoil it for people. I don't want to spoil it for you, and I don't want to spoil it for others. I think we just have to. Before I talk, I want Anthony to talk.
Okay,
you understand? And I think that way I feel that I'm respecting him as a man, as I've always done. You see what I'm saying, Ingram, to make his own decisions publicly. I've done it. That's what I said to you. I've done enough talking now. Everyone knows who I am. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's for a good, they know who I am. I don't need to talk no more. I can just
become it, right?
You know, sometimes it's about doing what you set out to do, and I just wanted to be known and respected because I know what I put into the sport. Boxing is my life. You get what I'm saying? I don't really need to. All I can do is prove deep down by my work ethic and hopefully getting the right results. Any decision that Anthony makes, I would always respect it. I would never fight against it. I would never. But we'll have to wait and see what Anthony has decided, and then go from there. So, but I'm not egotistical to the point where, I mean, look, Adeola Yinka will do a whole sessions with Anthony, and I'll just sit there and watch and listen and learn. I've always been receptive. I came on here today to listen to a man who's done it, been there before me, and I can take that away and implement that to my own style. There's no ego here where I wouldn't, give someone, because I know it's always. But sometimes you have to ask yourself, what is the motive? What are you're gonna pull that one like you did with Derek Chisora being introduced for Dave Coldwell and David there. And then, you ain't pulling that one on me, mate. You get what I'm saying? I know that. I know them little tricks.
Bro, listen.
Go on.
See, I said, and you go back and replay the tape, you see, two things are going to happen. Yarde has to do one of two things. He hushes his mouth, he shuts his mouth, and he gets back with Tunde, and they get to work. Or a complete break off, and he goes to America and leaves the whole situation with Tunde behind. It's one or the other. Because you can't be a British trainer.
But
no.
That's what we're waiting, bro. Everybody
No.
Everybody is waiting for the finality of Anthony. We're waiting.
To Anthony's channel. And if I hear he's gone to some other British trainer, right? I hear him ringing around. I'm pushing unsubscribe and I'm walking out the door and I'm looking back.
Right. I'm so interested to hear. Listen, I'm subscribed to the channel myself.
I'm subscribed if I hear any nonsense with the usual trainers being brought up.
Well, the thing is
if that's the case.
The thing is this. The British trainers' names I've heard flying about.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the names I've heard about. What have they done?
Get into it. Don't even talk
about it. What have they done? Who have they brought up? Who have they managed to take from? You got to remember, it's easy to work with someone or something when it's
ready. The work's already been done with
80-90% done. But to sacrifice your time when, as I said, me and Anthony used to be sharing each other's boots. And people can say, oh yeah, but maybe he's taking him as far as he can go. Hold on, ain't boxers supposed to lose? Is every boxer supposed to be 50-0? Supposing the Charlos, supposing Charlo, when he lost to Harris? Was it Harris?
Harris,
yeah. He did actually. Did he leave Muhammad and go to Derek James, or was it the same trainer?
No, he had.
Was Ronnie Shields in the corner when he lost?
No, Ronnie Shields is Big Charles' trainer.
Okay, so
Derek James.
You know what I'm saying?
That year when he lost, he lost the title. Derek James was getting flack. Oh, he's a one-trick pony. He's this and that. Yes. Derek James comes back. They win the title, and then he goes and unifies the title, and then. Errol Spence unifies as well.
There you go. And you know why? Because Charlo wanted it. He wanted it. So let's get it right. The individual has to have that fire, that passion, that no, that was an error. I'm gonna rectify it. Moving to another trainer, does that rectify it? As I said, and as you know, I don't want to keep on mentioning another man's name because it's not really my business. But
I hope it's not
certain fighters get broke up with their so-called experienced trainer at the top level, and no one don't talk like this. No one don't talk like this.
I do.
So I'm like,
what it is.
You know,
trainers.
You don't hear them coming on saying, "Oh, you know, you got to get rid of this, you got to get rid of that." So that's why me and Spencer, we just joke about it. You know, you heard Spencer, get rid of him, get that bloody Tunde, bruv. I don't mind. You get what I'm saying? So I just keep doing what I'm doing, and that's all I can do. And
does that, if that happened to you, would that discourage you? I know you talk about having a heart and a warrior, and would that discourage you? Because you put a lot of love and a lot of heart into it.
The only time I've been discouraged, because remember, fighters have left me. Remember, Kevin Mitchell left. Wait. Kevin Mitchell left. Akash Bhatia left. Nathan left. Craig Richards left. Daniel Dubois left. I mean, obviously, we hadn't got to the level where we are, where me and Andy. But what I'm trying to say is that the only time I've ever been discouraged in boxing is in 2016 when Otto, who I'd brought up just like Anthony, got him to a world stage or a world gym, Floyd Mayweather's gym. He too, remember, I've said this many times. You're looking at Anthony and me helping Anthony achieve some of his dreams, because I know Anthony hasn't achieved his dreams yet. His dreams are so big, but I've done my part, which is what we're all here to do. But I've done the same thing with a young man, Otto Saba. He had 12 amateur fights, the same as Anthony, and I took him from an amateur, took him around the gyms, took him to Floyd's gym until we broke up the Golden Gloves champion, and he got signed by Floyd Mayweather. If you go look at the program for Floyd Mayweather against Marcus Maidana 2, you see the name Junior Benjamin. That was Otto Saba. We done it. And I remember Sky TV phoning me and saying, well done, Tunde. You know, you really have to give yourself a pat on the back because many people doubted you, your system, and you've managed to get this young boy who has no experience as an amateur to the top of the mountain. MGM, Las Vegas, Floyd Mayweather, Marcus Maidana 2, all set to go. Driving to the gym Thursday evening, the phone rang. Leonard Ellaby. As soon as the phone rang, because I've told you I'm an energy person. As soon as the phone rang, I knew God said it ain't gonna happen. It wasn't the time. And I remember Leonard Ellaby saying to me, son, I don't know why he's calling me son, because but he's like, son, I got some bad news for you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, remember, I'm driving the car. Otto's sitting next to me in the passenger seat. We're ready. Thursday, day before the weigh-in. Marcus Maidana, Floyd Mayweather 2. Defeated all the odds, all the haters. You understand? He said, you failed your brain scan. Bruv, when I tell you, if I could have just crashed the car, if I could have just, you know, and I have to talk about these experiences because they're real. If I could have just crashed the car, my whole body and my heart dropped. And then I was like, no, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. You get what I'm saying? And I tried. And I have to say, that's the only time that I've been down. That's the only time that I felt like walking away from boxing. But guess what? There was a young man that flew out to Vegas that year. Out of all the 16 fighters I was training, there was a young man that flew out to Vegas that year. And that boy was Anthony Yarde. And within 3 years of that tragedy happening to me, Anthony Yarde was at the top of the mountain fighting KOVALEV. I ain't no one-trick pony, sir. I'm going to be here for a long time, fam. because I do everything from my heart, from the goodness of my heart, and I always want the best for these guys. And I would say that Otto failing his brain scan and not being able to fulfill his dreams, even if it wasn't with me. You see what I'm saying? I'm a giver, so even if it's not with me, even if I'm not in the corner, I will like, God bless that boy. It's his time. This is how I think. God bless that boy. It's his time. You understand? But he never ever got that opportunity, and that was heartbreaking for me. It's the only time I would say in boxing where I've stopped working. Everything else is gone. Keep working. Keep working. Keep working. Don't worry. It's a learning lesson. It's a learning lesson. It's a learning lesson. So that's it. That's how it goes. That's how the story. That's how the story has.
I saw him at Sub. I think I saw him if a year or two ago down in Xavier Miller's gym. I saw him.
David's looking after him now, and you know, it's good that he's got somewhere to go. He's got you know, Mick Collier phoned me, and you know, told me that he's issuing Otto his trainer's license. Yeah. So I'm happy for him, regardless of whatever happens, you know. But I was, as I say, that's the only time I've ever been down, and I wouldn't be down for any other thing. If a man doesn't have the opportunity to create the life that he has in his mind, that gets me down. That gets me down. You know, Anthony has had so many great experiences already in the embryonic stage of his career. Fought for a world title, globally recognized, made a few quid.
That deal, Adidas deal, does that still stand because of what's happened with Anthony? Does it?
A contract's a contract.
Smart man. Right.
Yes.
Go on.
AJ actually got bigger when he lost. You know, the deals because it's a numbers game. You know, you can't give up on a fighter. You can't give up on a brand can't give up on you because you've had one setback or two setbacks. You know, the brand, they don't actually want you for the brand. They actually want you for the fact that you're this image. People buy their clothes and buy their trainers based on you. Anthony's got a great name, great personality. He's not punch drunk. He can articulate himself very well, and he's a good-looking young man. You understand?
I've said it. He's a pay-per-view star. He's a pay-per-view star.
Absolutely.
Right? Final question. We've been here a while. Final question. But aside all the stuff that's going on, we've had a world pandemic or plandemic, whichever way you want to believe it to be.
Tier 5. It's tier 5 tonight.
What?
It's tier 5.
You're joking.
That's the news I'm getting. In 2 hours' time, it's tier 5. We ain't allowed to go nowhere.
What?
I may be getting false news, but 3 people have told me already. I'm actually.
When I heard the tier 5 was coming.
Yeah, they're saying tonight.
Jesus. Is that for is it for London or is that the whole of England?
I know, definitely for London.
Well, in the south, I was in tier 2 for a while, and then it suddenly dropped from tier 2 straight to tier 4.
I think they're saying it's for a fortnight.
2 weeks.
Coronavirus lives in Denmark. Look, oh no, that's Denmark.
I know tier 5. They were saying tier 5 was coming.
Yeah. So from what I understand, the news may be wrong. But yeah, it's a tier 5 thing. So
what happens there? What does tier 5 mean?
You can't go nowhere.
You mean
it's like the first lockdown. Remember the first lockdown? It's like the first lockdown. So I hope that news isn't true, but
it's probably true then. It's true.
A few people have said it to me now.
It's true. Because I heard they were talking about it yesterday, and I knew there was going to be a third lockdown, but they're moving faster than I thought they were going to move. Now they're going to tier 5. How's this affecting you, by the way?
Well, I mean, we're in our break now anyway. You know, we're not going to start back in the gym till New Year. So, and I mean, from what I understood, I don't know where it is now, but before, professionals were allowed to train or have been able to train. I mean, we
tier 3, right? But not in tier 4.
T3, I'm not in tier 4. So we need to get directions from the British Boxing Board to let us know what the situation is. But if they're saying
you got a 2-week break, just pack yourself for a 2-week break, bro, because you ain't doing nothing for 2 weeks.
You can't go for 2 weeks, and this is mad. You know, this is affecting a lot of people, and I think at this time there's a lot more important issues than Tunde shouting lines in the camp in the corner.
I mean, you see the funny side of all that, though, when people say lions in the camp, liars in the camp. Did you not see it funny? Do you think, oh, yeah, okay, funny.
It's pure comedy. It's comedy, Ingram. I don't... come on, man. I'm built for jokes. You see my... all I do is joke and sing. That's
he said to me, imagine going to your doctor and you said you got a broken leg and the doctor turned around and said to you, lions in the camp.
The one that I heard, someone texted me one that yesterday, they said, Tunde Ajayi is nothing but a Sunday preacher who just fell into boxing. I'm like, bro, all right, cool, say nothing. I've already got my next job lined up. I'm a preacher. So it's good. This is a career, not a kamikaze. We're human beings. You know, there's no bad energy around us.
Yeah, of course.
It's only positive, progressive energy, and we all want to do better. You know, but you know, Anthony done 12 rounds there. People say it wasn't at a hectic pace, but if you look at a lot of the fights today, they're not a hectic fight. That was a very cerebral fight, which actually is more draining at times than a physical fight. It's one of the reasons why Callum Smith couldn't even throw no punches, because he was getting drained out mentally. And I told people this before the fight. When you go and fight,
he was never going to be ready for that fight. Never. I mean,
yeah, I didn't even know it was 4 weeks. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
But even that, so I can't understand how a professional fighter, this is no disrespect, but a professional fighter at his standard, at his level, when he gets against the ropes, does this. I can still not understand that.
Yeah, but again, I'm saying it, Ingram, and this is not to go against what you're saying. It's different when you get in there. It's just totally different. Like
even your talk,
No, it's not.
He did it against Ryder, which I predicted Ryder would beat him because the new Ryder would put pressure on him.
But this is what I'm trying to say. Think about it. The greatest entertainers in the world are usually from the US. The singers, everything. The fighters, everything.
That's special. I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's special. And it's energy, it's numbers, it's demographics. And so this is why the point I was making about Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia. He's going up fighting someone in their backyard who has 7.8 million followers on social media, Instagram alone. That's energy, Ingram. And is it a wonder that when they get in there, the things that they would do prior to fighting these guys, they can't do it when they fight them? It's energy. It's why you see Shane Mosley after the second round almost stopping Floyd.
I'm talking about that earlier on tonight.
Nothing. It's the energy. It's the energy. It's the energy. And so, you know, it means something. It absolutely means something. I mean, Ruiz was AJ's first fight in America, if I'm not mistaken.
But I called that fight as well and said exactly the punch and how it was going to land and when it would land. Called it as well.
But, you know, in Saudi Arabia, neutral ground, AJ just broke him up. Done what he had to.
Well, what's that neutral ground?
It was because, you know what? I'll tell you what.
That stadium was built for AJ. Come on, bro. It wasn't built for me. Come on.
Let me tell you why it was neutral.
Okay.
Because the fans in Saudi Arabia don't have the passion and the energy for boxing as the fans in the US.
In Joshua, are they not?
Well, I don't know. Listen,
money, man. We can get money and energy. Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It is true. But how many of them is? I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, I know that environment does play a part to any situation. That's scientifically proven. Environment,
money, right?
Bullshit talks. Money buys houses. Money buys houses. So
and buys fights. You know that.
But at the end of the day, there must be a reason why Floyd never came out of Vegas or America.
Oh yeah.
There must be a reason why Roy Jones, till he was done, never went out and fought in Germany when there was an opportunity for him to fight Sven Vokter and all those guys. There's a reason why they don't go out of their zone. Again, going back to my man AY, us going to Russia, the mighty Russia, the land of mentalism, if you know about mentalism, the land of mentalism, going into that and almost doing it, pulling off the upset. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. And not many fighters do it, and the fighters that do it are always recognized as greats. I mean, and even if they don't, they're still recognized as great. So, but it's the wonderful sport we love, boxing. Everybody's always going to have an opinion because that's the sport we're involved in, and everyone's going to always say, why didn't you do it this way? Couldn't you have done it that way? Don't you think if it was done this way? I'm like, fam, you need to get in this position. Then you get in this position then, and then you do what you're telling me to do. Yes, but it's all good. I love it. And then, as I say, anytime that I ever have, you're one of the guys. As I said, I took you and your dad to the restaurant. We had a great dinner. Your dad was pissed. I remember your dad was pissing you off. He's like, my dad pisses me off.
Today.
To this day, they're still messing up. It's all love. It's all love. Love is the most powerful instrument in the universe. So it's all love, brother. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for being the first.
Yes, sir.
To come on a show with myself and Uncle Bashir. And that's brilliant. That UK, US build there. I've been talking to Bashir for years. So even at the big fights, he'll call me before the big fights. He'll call me after the big fights. We'll talk about things before.
Isn't Bashir the one that was assaulted?
Yes.
Why would anyone want to assault that man?